Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the Happy Professional channel. Today we are talking about how to email like a pro. So if you've ever felt like, how do I send this email to my professor? Or how do I respond to this employer? I wanna make sure I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I think I should send this email to my mom or my dad or my sister to check first. Then this video is for you. Make sure you stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Candace Saunders, and I'm going to share with you how to become a happy professional. I'm going to let you in on my tricks of the trade when it comes to career, beauty, fashion, health, and lifestyle to help you create a professional life that you love. I've interned at the White House under the Obama administration, networked with Fortune 500 executives, and have even written a book about it all. What I've learned along my journey, I want to share with you. In this series, I'm going to be opening up my Happy Professional book and sharing with you the unscripted version of what you need to do to become a happy professional. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. Welcome back, I'm Candace, and today we are getting into how to write and craft a professional email. We're really going to focus on some laws that I have made that should not be broken when sending a business professional email. So I'm going to start off with a quote. As you all know, I love quotes, and we are here in the Happy Professional book, and I am on page 77, and that talks about the power of written words. And I have a quote here. It says, the less you talk, the more people think about your words. That is a whole sermon in itself. Just to say, like, if you're not constantly talking and you're spending more time listening, people will think more about what you said. But this video is not about speaking less. It is about writing professional emails. So let's go ahead and hop into my 10 immutable rules of professional emails. Rule number 1. Always use a professional email address and not your personal email. If you are watching my other video, I will link it below. And within my other video, I mentioned how you should always have a professional email address. But that is so important because you always want to focus on how your personal brand looks all of the time. And I know that might seem obsessive, but you want to make sure that you're living out your brand and what you represent, and that you're not having to act one way to the world and one way at home. You want to make sure that your brand is consistent so that it will feel authentic. Rule number 2, when scheduling a meeting, provide multiple times for them to choose from when responding. What that means is when you're sending a professional email, so let's say you're emailing your professor or you're setting up a time to do an interview, give them multiple options because people have a lot of things going on in their lives, and you want to not only send it because they have lots of things going on in their lives, but to give them options. Because what if you suggest a time and it doesn't work for them? And then they might use that as an opportunity to say, you know what, I actually can't make it, sorry, how about we do this another time? Or if you're providing multiple options, that allows them to say, hey, I can't make it this time, but I can make it that time. And giving them options allows for a greater opportunity to move forward in the next step of that conversation. So always give options. And then a great thing that I've also learned is to give options, but then say, please see the times like below that I'm available. But if none of these work, please let me know if you have any additional times that would be convenient for you, and I can see if I can make them work on my schedule. Using something around those words as a benchmark for your conversation, I think would be very helpful. So yes, give options, but then also say if none of these times work, what other times would be convenient for you. All right, number 3, stay professional. Even if the person you are communicating with begins to become casual in their communication with you, continue to respond in a professional manner unless it is requested that you do otherwise. This really goes back to the other video that I had on networking, which talks about don't get too comfortable too soon. And sometimes we have conversations with others in professional settings and we feel that we click with them. And then as a result, we just want to share our personal story, share our life with them. But maybe doing that should be held off on until conversation number 5 or way later on in the relationship so it stays professional. You don't want to get too comfortable too soon because you might end up ruining or hindering an opportunity that you might be getting from them in the future. Rule number 4, less is more. Keep your email short and sweet to where it can be read in under 20 seconds. Many of the people that you will be communicating with will be in a hurry, busy, and do not necessarily have time to be reading lengthy emails, so it is best to keep it short and to the point. When you're sending a business professional email, a lot of the times everyone is very busy, they have a lot going on. As a result, it's very important that you find a way to get directly to the point in all of your emails, and like in the subject, lead with what you're going to be talking about, because you want to make sure that your email gets read and not skimmed over and they don't miss important facts that you're trying to address. So always make sure that you keep it short, sweet, and when you read through it beforehand, before sending it, make sure that it can be read in 20 seconds. Yes, there will be situations when someone can't read or digest your email in 20 seconds. That's understandable. But I'm just saying, for the average of emails that you send out, if you want them to thoroughly be read through and want someone to take the time to go through it, make sure that you only put the main, most important information, and maybe more of that in-depth information can be saved for a phone call conversation or an in-person conversation. Number 5, if it takes you longer than 15 minutes to write an email, then ask for help. It should not take you any longer than that time frame to compose an email. Yes, that is so important. A lot of times I remember for myself when I was in college, I would struggle to write an email, and at the beginning of college, and I would send it to my mom to check because I felt like I didn't know what it sounded like, and I felt that I needed help composing it. Something that I've done that really helps me write good emails or the best emails is to read the email out loud after it's been written. Because when you read it out loud, it helps you to hear what it sounds like. And sometimes when you're reading out loud, you're like, that does not go together. And then it helps you eliminate those unnecessary words so that it can flow smoothly. And of course, there'll be situations where you can't send an email in 15 minutes, but on average, make sure that you can craft your email within 15 minutes. And if you can't, that's when you need to raise your hand and maybe ask a relative, ask a team member, ask another student to help you put it together so you're not spending unnecessary time on it when someone else can allow you to get the job done quicker. Number 6, which I just gave you, read your email out loud so you can hear what it sounds like when it's being read. So obviously that's a very important rule that I have here, which is reading it out loud. As I was just mentioning, it really helps you to hear what your email and your message sounds like, and you can make it sound so much more clear and concise. Rule number 7, if you have no one to ask for help and need an outline, Google an example of the type of email you want to send, find a model, and go from there. Many times you might be in a hurry to send an email. As a result, you want to get that email out as quick as possible. If that's the case, you don't have anybody to ask, then go to Google. They have searched the internet. They have so many great examples on there of emails that you can send and use as a benchmark to better help you craft your communication and conversation with others. Number 8, respond to emails within 24 hours. Others want to know that you are responsive and that their message has been received. At all costs possible, please try to respond to your emails within 24 hours, sometimes even sooner. A lot of the times I know for me, my inbox gets just so full of junk mail, and it can feel very overwhelming to go in there and just being able to eliminate those extra emails that you don't want. But then the important emails, make sure that you're able to get back to them ASAP. And then there will be times when you can't get back to someone within 24 hours, and in those circumstances, it is understandable. But try to make a habit and a practice of getting back to people within 24 hours. That way they can have that standard and expectation from you, and they won't think like, okay, I emailed this person and it's gonna take a whole week for me to hear from them. Versus set that standard, set that reputation. Remember, reputation is currency. Set that reputation that, okay, this person will get back to me within 24 hours, and that person would know that. And sometimes if you want, you can even write and like with your signature that all emails will be responded to within 24 hours. Of course, only put that there if you can hold to that standard. But that is another great thing to do, so that maybe if that person might be expecting immediate response, they would have been already prefaced or prepped to know that, okay, I'm emailing this person and I can see in their signature, it's gonna take 24 hours for me to hear from them, or 48 hours, business days, just so they have an understanding, and you're setting that standard like when you're starting for them to know like, okay, it's only gonna be 24 hours or 48 hours before I hear from them. Now on to number 9, use a professional subject line. Refrain from using casual subjects such as, hey Candace, or how was your weekend, Candace? Instead, you can use examples such as, follow up from Monday's coffee meetup, or thank you for your time. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying like, hey Candace in the subject line, or how was your weekend, Candace? But depending on the person that you're communicating with, remember, we're going back to don't get comfortable too soon. Based on who you're communicating with will dictate and determine which subject line you should use. So until you reach that point where you have lowered that level of professionalism and you can be a little bit more casual with them, until you reach that point, I would not recommend saying, hey Tom, hey Sarah. Instead, I would use follow up for this meeting in your response to that person. Number 10, use professional grammar. Drum roll. I know that I used to struggle so much with that, like beginning of college. It really helped to write like professional emails, craft them, use great grammar. A great resource for that is Grammarly, and I will link that below so that you can check it out. And then also reading different books on grammar, and Amazon has some amazing ones, and I can link those too so that you can check them out and read them. But continuing to practice sending out emails, sending out professional emails will really help you leverage that skill set and be able to communicate effectively. And what I have here is, you should make it your goal to have as few grammatical errors or misspelled words in your emails. So to help prevent from that, use Grammarly. Get yourself a book that talks about how to write professional emails, and then also maybe take an online course that can help you better craft your emails and your messaging and your content. So overall, focus on these 10 immutable rules, and it'll help to give you more confidence when you're sending out a message. And then if you are struggling with, okay, how do I know if this is correct grammar or not correct grammar? Using a resource like Grammarly, or practice reading your emails out loud so you can better understand and hear what it sounds like to the audience, or getting templates from online that can help give you that benchmark and that jump off into creating and crafting a better message. So I hope you enjoyed our conversation today, really getting into the nitty-gritties of how to write an email when in college. Don't worry, if you haven't mastered it yet, you will master it. It takes time. Greatness takes time. I believe in you, and I know you're gonna do amazing things. So don't forget to tune in next week, and we will be right back here. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and share this with a classmate, a family member, anybody who might be needing that extra push into sending more professional emails, or might have questions or uncertainty around it. I always love hearing back from you all, so feel free to leave a comment or send me a message, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.